Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning, class. How are you all? Beta, let me know through chat window if my screen and voice both are clear, and also turn on your videos. Everyone, please turn on your videos. Yes, Saad Anju, my voice and screen both are clear. Please let me
Yes,
know.
yes.
Taha Khan, yes. Okay. Good. So there are 18 students right now, and I want everyone to turn on your cameras. I want to see your faces. Hurry up. Yes, Taha Khan, Saad Anjum, Aliya Uzair Bhatti, Hamna Asaf, Minahil. Okay, Tehzeeb Pirzada, Abdul Rahman, Ayan Aziz. However, other students, they have not turned on their cameras. Please turn on the cameras as soon as possible. So let's start with our lesson today. We are going to learn about the just a minute. Yes, just a minute, class. Let me. Okay. So today is our lecture number 4 of chapter What is Science. Today we are going to learn pages 4 and 5. If you look into your book, yesterday we have learned half of the page number 4. That is, we learned about the contribution of scientists. Okay, we learned about on page number 4. Yesterday we learned about the contribution of scientists. Now today we are going to learn topic 1.2. This is the scientific method. Today we are going to learn about the scientific method of a study, means that how the scientists study different stuff. Okay, and what are the steps they follow when they learn, observe, and do experiment. So these are the different methods which we are going to learn today. In our last class, we have learned yesterday about the contribution of scientists and limitation of technology. I believe that everyone have got the clear concept of about the contribution of scientists and the limitation of technology. If there is something you did not understand, please let me know. Please let me know through chat window so that I'll repeat it. Yes, Malahin. Anybody? Yes, class. Anybody wants to ask something? Yes, okay. What about others? Ahad Hassan says it's clear. Then what about others? Alina Abid, no, miss. Okay, fine. So, can anybody tell me what was the name of the scientist who developed the vaccine for the very first time? Name of the scientist who developed the vaccine for the very first time, and vaccine was he developed the vaccine to treat the patients or to fight against the deadly diseases. Yes, start writing the name of that scientist. Yes, good. Louis Pasteur. So Louis Pasteur. Now Tehzeeb Pirzada, listen carefully again. Louis Pasteur was the name of scientist who developed the vaccine. If you look into your book on page number 4, there are pictures of 3 different scientists. There on the very first picture you supposed to write down the name Louis Pasteur. He was the scientist who developed the vaccines to protect human beings and animals against a number of deadly diseases, including rabies. What is rabies? Rabies is a virus which is being transmitted from dogs to human beings when dogs bite human beings. Okay, so rabies is the name of virus which is present in the teeth of dogs, and when the dogs bite human beings, it transmits from their teeth to the human blood. Okay, so who developed the vaccine for the very first time? That is Louis Pasteur. Okay, if Isma Mohsen, if you can't hear my voice, please look at the issue at your end, because everyone is answering me, because it means that they are listening me. They hear me properly. Okay. So next is yes, Aman Aman Khurram wants me to repeat the limitation of science. In limitation of science, what happens when um, scientists, they have developed the technology. We have different technologies with us to uh, get the benefits from them. Like there are so many we are enjoying in our homes. There are so many we are taking benefit in hospitals and so on. But still, the technology is unable to stop the disaster from happening. This is their limitation. For example, if there is a forecast for rain or a storm, flood, or something like earthquake or volcano erupt, the department who tells us about these disasters, they inform us prior. They come to know in advance that such and such things, such and such disasters can be happening, can be coming in our way, but they cannot stop them from happening. Means they can't stop the volcano erupt, they can't stop the earthquake to be happened, they can't stop the rain to be happened, because yes, that's why yes, they they can tell us only so that we can take precautionary measures, we can protect ourselves, we try to reduce the damage, but we cannot or they cannot stop them. Means the technology help us to inform about these things to be happen, but the technology cannot stop them from happening. This is the limitation of technology. Okay, whose question? Ahmad Hassan, I will show you the question today in the end, and you will complete it, okay, later on. Now the okay, now next, today we are going to learn about learning. Our learning objective is today we are going to learn about the scientific method of investigation and the laboratory safety rules to be observed. Okay, so first we will learn about the scientific methods. Every scientist follow different steps to study scientifically everything, every point of view to be cleared in different steps. First, the scientists, they observe. Look here, this eye sign shows that the people or the scientists, they need to observe. Even we are common people, we also have to observe something. That what's going on. First, we have to observe. We do not try to jump into the result directly, we do not conclude anything directly. First, we need to observe something, that what is going on, what is happening. If we want to measure something, means if there is something to be measured, we need to measure, we need to calculate. Then question, we raise the question. After observing, we should raise the question. When the question is being raised, we provide the suggested explanation, means the hypothesis. Hypothesis को उर्दू में फर्ज करना कहते हैं कि maybe it can happen, maybe this is the reason, maybe that is the reason, this was happened, that's why so and so. So hypothesis is the question form hypothesis, the suggested explanation कि अपनी तरफ से आप suggest करें ये हो गया होगा, वो हो गया होगा, ऐसा है, ये reason होगा. This is called hypothesis. Okay. Then once we provide the hypothesis, means suggested explanation. Once we provide the hypothesis, then we come into testing the hypothesis. Let's test it. Why? Uh, let's test it that whether this is correct or that is correct. Okay, which one our observation is correct, the question we raise, is this correct, or whether whatever the suggestion we give, is it correct or incorrect. Then we need to analyze the data, means whatever the outcome of the test or result of the experiment, we have to analyze it, we have to check it, double check it. Then we draw the conclusion, means we take the conclusion from it and then we share the result. Now we will learn it from our daily life. First, we observe. The first step in scientific method is to observe about something that interests you. Like in the morning, we put the bread in the toaster to toast, but it won't toast. So we observe the toaster does not work. Why? Okay, toaster does not work. We say, oh, the toaster does not toast our bread. I don't know what's happening. So we raise the question, why won't my toaster toast? First, we observe that the toaster does not toast the bread. Then we raise a question. After observation, we must raise a question about what we have observed. We have observed that the toaster does not toast the bread. So we raise a question, why won't my toaster work? Why won't my toaster toast the bread? Right? Next is hypothesis. Hypothesis is the suggested explanation. What is hypothesis? It is a suggested explanation. Explain करना कि शायद ये हो गया होगा, शायद वो हो गया होगा, right? A suggested explanation that can be tested to explain the observation, means whatever we have observed, what is the question, we have to give the answer of that question in different ways. Okay? Yes. Okay. So next is hypothesis. Maybe the outlet is broken. What happens when we start toasting the bread and put it into the electrical plug or switch? When we allow the electricity to run through the wires, it does not work. It means there is something the outlet is broken. Maybe there is no electricity or something like that. Maybe our toaster is not working properly, that's why it does not work. So there are 2-3 different hypotheses. So we suggest an explanation. Maybe the outlet is broken, maybe the toaster is out of it's not working properly, that's why it won't toast. Maybe there is no electricity in our house. There are 3-4 different hypotheses. So let's check the hypothesis by doing some experiment. Planning and carrying out experiment to test the hypothesis. Prediction. If I plug the toaster into a different outlet, then it will toast the bread. Means if in first outlet it won't toast, we plug the toaster into different outlet. We check it into different outlet where it works, so that our bread will be toasted. So it's an experiment. In this way, we check our hypothesis by plugging into different outlets. Now, test of prediction, plug the toaster into different outlet and try again and again. Result and conclusion, record the result of your experiment. Can repeat if needed, explain your result. Means my bread toast, if the bread, if we change the outlet and bread toast, it means the hypothesis is correct. If bread still won't toast, the hypothesis is incorrect. It is not supported. Okay. So when the bread is toasted, hypothesis is correct. If bread is still, after changing the outlet or after testing or experimenting different outlets, if still the bread is not toasted, it means the hypothesis is not supported, right? Beta, there is no sharing screen. Khazra Ali, there is no sharing screen. There are other computers here on the floor. That's why it is sending this message to us. I can't move it. I can't move it. There is no other sharing screen here. Now let's take example from our book. If you open the book on page number 5, if you open the book on page number 5, like example which is given on page number 5, observation, you can check the, you can check this, all this in your book on page number 5. This example is given like we observe that shadows can cast when objects block light. Here they have shown us that if we put our hand in front of light ray, it casts a shadow. Our hypothesis is light travels in a straight line. What is our hypothesis? That light travels in a straight line. Then we try experimenting something to prove it. How? First, we place three different cardboards in a line, in a series, and all the cardboards, they have holes at the same point, at the same length. And we will try to look through these holes, so that if we check through the or look at through these holes, we can see the light that is traveling in a straight line. But if we shift any of the cardboard, like if we shift the cardboard number B a little or slightly, if we move it so that there is a blockage of light ray, there is a blockage, so we cannot see the light traveling. Okay, we cannot see the light traveling. Look, if we change the position of B, C or A, the light cannot reach our eye and we cannot see, because light travels in a straight line. When the light starts traveling from point A, it hits the plane object. It does not pass through the hole, because the hole has slightly changed its position. So light is found to travel in a straight line, and the hypothesis that light travels in a straight line becomes a theory. So after being tested a number of times and found to be true, the theory that light travels in a straight line finally becomes a law of science. Okay, the theory, the result that is being tested and comes true or correct or proved, it becomes a theory or law of science. Okay. So our observation is shadows are casted when objects block light. Why objects block light? This is our question. Hypothesis, light travels in a straight line. Then carry out an experiment to test the hypothesis. Hypothesis comes out true. It becomes a theory that light travels in a straight line. Before we move to our next topic, that is lab safety, laboratory safety rules, I want to share another example with you people. To Google, if we check so here you can see, here in this example you can see a person is observing some seeds, potted plant and soil. He observed these things first and he raised a question, which type of fertilizer works the best? Means if he wants to plant a seed and to raise a plant, he developed or raised a question that which type of fertilizer works best. Then he gets three different types of fertilizer, out of which he suggested, or his hypothesis is that plants grown with fertilizer A will grow the fastest. Okay, he has three different types of fertilizers A, B, and C, out of which he suggested that A will work best to grow the plant fastest. Means his hypothesis is for fertilizer A. So he takes 3 pots and he sows the seed and give different fertilizers to different pots. Fertilizer A to pot A, fertilizer B to pot B, fertilizer C to pot C. This is his experiment. Okay, he did an experiment and the result is that fertilizer A works best and plants the pot out of 3 potted plants, the pot A, the plant in the pot A grows fastest and it blooms. So it proves that the hypothesis of this person is correct. It's proven. Okay, it's proven and it is a conclusion. It becomes a conclusion or theory, right? So in this way, you can learn or you can follow the scientific methods to study different things. Now let's return back to our topic again. We are going to learn about the lab safety. Now next is important lab safety rules that we are going to follow. Like we know the exact location of safety equipment, the experiments at home, follow the instruction of the teacher, don't play mad scientist, means madly, do not try to do any experiment, dress appropriately, know what to do in case of an accident, don't experiment on yourself, don't taste or sniff chemicals, don't eat or drink in the lab, dispose of waste properly. Okay, now in your books on page number, this is on page number, I'm going to tell you, this is page number 7. This is page number 7, general safety rules that we are going to follow. First one, okay, can anybody read aloud if I unmute him or her? Who can read aloud? Okay. Okay, Alina. Read first 3 points, Alina, then I will give chance to another.
Assalamualaikum, Miss.
Walaikum assalam. Yes, start reading, beta.
Do not enter general safety rules. Do not enter the laboratory without the teacher permission. Number 2, open all doors and windows unless otherwise instructed by a teacher. Number 3, do not carry out any test or experiment without the teacher permission. Number 4, read the instructions first and understand them before starting your experiment. If in doubt, always ask your teacher.
Okay,
Number
fine.
5,
Okay. Stop. Let's give chance to another. You mute yourself, beta. Mute your mic. Hiba Adil. Yes, start. Hiba Adil, start reading, beta. Point number.
Handle all apparatus and chemicals carefully and correctly. Always check the label on the container before using the substance it contains. Do not pour any unused chemical back into its container to avoid contamination.
Let me explain this. What happens at times we take from the bottle of chemical, we take a small amount into beaker or in some test tube, but we use a little amount of it and remaining is there in the test tube or in a beaker. So what we do, we should discard it in the sink. Do not try to pour back into the large container because it will contaminate. Contaminate means to get it infected or some changes can take in place. That's why it cannot be reused. So we should not pour it back into its container again. This is for your own safety. Okay, now let me explain from the point number 1. Do not enter the laboratory without teacher's permission. Means the teacher, you cannot enter the lab without your teacher's permission. Open all doors and windows unless otherwise instructed by your teacher. Means as soon as we enter the lab, we should open the doors and windows so that there should not be any mishap or any accident takes place, because there are some gases or some chemical fumes of some chemicals are there in the lab. They must be uh, thrown out of the window and doors. Do not carry out any experiment, test or experiment without teacher's permission, because this is for your own safety, because you don't know which experiment or which chemical is good for you and which one is harmful for you. Read the instructions first and understand them before starting your experiment. Means whenever you are going to start any experiment, first read the instruction and understand them. If in doubt, always ask your teacher. Next is handle all apparatus. What do we pronounce it? Apparatus and chemicals carefully and correctly. Always check the label on the container before using the substance it contains. Means first of all, if we want to do any experiment, we have to check all the apparatus, clean them properly, and check the labels on the containers of the chemical, that which chemical it contains. Okay. Do not pour any unused chemical back into its container to avoid contamination. Now, Tazdeep Pirzada, I'm unmuting you. Please start reading.
Not taste any chemical
Loudly,
unless
loudly,
otherwise.
beta. Loudly.
Do not taste any chemical unless otherwise instructed by the teacher. Do not eat, drink, or play with in the laboratory. Do not tamper with the electrical mains and other fittings in the laboratory.
Okay.
Work
Stop,
tidily.
stop, stop, stop. Please explain this. You mute your mic. So, what we do, we should not taste any chemical. This is very dangerous. If we taste any chemical, we do not know is this acid or base, or what is its properties, or how harmful is it for your skin and for your living cells. So we should not taste any chemical until or unless our teacher asks, instruct us to do so. Otherwise, we are not supposed to do this exercise. Do not eat, drink, or play in the laboratory. Laboratory is not the right place to eat, drink, or play. Whatever these things you want to do it prior entering the laboratory, or after you finish and leave the laboratory. You are not allowed to do these activities in the lab. Do not tamper. Tamper means कि छेड़छाड़ नहीं करें, उसको छुए नहीं, उसको हाथ ना लगाएं. Do not tamper with the electrical means. इलेक्ट्रिकल सप्लाईज जो भी वहाँ मौजूद हैं उनको टच नहीं करें, उनको बार बार उसमें उनके स्विचेस को ऑन ऑफ नहीं करना है, राइट. And other fittings in the laboratory. Work tidily. Now we will read it. Fizrali. Or somebody else. Hassan. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan. Sayyid Muhammad Hassan, please unmute your mic.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam, beta. Start reading. Work tidily.
Work tidily was all use apparatus and dispose waste correctly.
Right.
Return the apparatus to their proper places after cleaning. Do not remove any apparatus or chemical from the laboratory. Wash your hands after all laboratory work.
Okay, thank you. Please turn off your mic. Now let's see. In this point, work tidily means you have to work very tidily, neatly. You should not scatter things. You should not spread chemical or apparatus here and there. Wash up all used apparatus and dispose waste correctly. Means once you finish your experiments, wash or clean all the apparatus, place them at their proper places, and dispose waste correctly. Means whatever the chemicals or the waste you have with you, just discard them correctly. Okay, do not discard or dispose the things here and there in the lab, so that it gets harmful for others. Okay. Now next is return the apparatus to their proper places after cleaning. Means if you have used like a Bunsen burner or a test tube, a beaker or tripod stand, you need to place them in their particular places. Okay, don't jumble them here and there. Okay, do not remove any apparatus or chemical from the laboratory. Means you are not allowed to take or remove any apparatus or chemical from the laboratory when you are getting out of the lab after finishing your work. Wash your hands after all laboratory work. Means once you finish your experiments or laboratory work, you have to wash your hands thoroughly. Okay. You have to wash your hands thoroughly. Now next is safety rules when just a minute. When heating or mixing chemicals. Now yes, Khizra Ali.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मिस।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. Start reading it. Safety rules.
मिस आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes. Start reading.
क्लियर आ रही है ना मिस?
Yes, yes. Start reading, beta. Don't waste the time.
Safety rules when heating or mixing chemicals. Wear goggles when mixing or heating chemicals. Do not place flammable substances near naked flames. Do not point them out.
Just a minute. This word is flammable. F-L-A-M-M-A-B-L-E. Flammable. Naked. N-A-K-E-D. Naked.
Flammable substances near naked flames. Do not point the mouth of a test tube or a boiling tube which is being heated towards yourself or your friends.
Okay, turn off your mic now. Turn off your mic. Let me explain this. Taha Khan, there is a homework submission day on Monday. You need to submit your work on Monday. There is submission on Monday. Please check the date on the Google Class. Yes, first safety rule when heating or mixing the chemical is that we need to wear goggles. The goggles which are more commonly used for working in the laboratory. This is for the safety of your eyes when you are mixing or heating the chemical. Then do not place flammable substances. What are flammable substances? These are those substances which catch fire when we bring them near fire. Okay, when we bring them near fire, they catch fire at very instant, and it's not good to bring them near naked flames. When there is a naked flame, means when there Bunsen burner or some gas supply is there, you are not supposed to bring them the naked flames. Do not point the mouth of the test tube or a boiling tube which is being heated towards yourself or your friend. Means when you are heating some chemical or boiling some chemical in a test tube, you should handle or you should point the mouth of the test tube away from yourself or your friends, not towards your mouth or not towards your friends, because if there is any bumping or boiling or bubbling in the chemical, the fumes or the bubbles get towards your mouth, they damage or they are harmful for your face or eyes. Okay, now last one is okay, it's Alia Uzair Bhatti. Start reading. When accidents occur. When accidents occur. Yes, start reading. Alia, beta.
Yes, miss.
Start reading. Report all accidents. Start from here.
Okay.
Beta, quickly, we are getting short of time.
Work tightly, wash up all.
No. Here, I am where the cursor is moving. Start reading from here. When accidents occur. Just wasting the time. Isma, now it's your turn. Isma, start reading. Isma Mohsen.
When accident occur, report all accident, injuries, breakages, and spillages immediately to your teacher. Should a chemical get into your mouth, spit it out into a basin and rinse your mouth with plenty of water. Similarly, contact with other parts of your body or clothing, wash thoroughly with plenty of water and report to your teacher.
Right. So what happens when there is any accident happened? We should report all the accidents, injuries, breakages, spillages immediately to the teacher, because if there is something, so if there is any accident, injuries, breakages of apparatus in the laboratory or spillages of chemicals, you should immediately report the teacher so that teacher can look into it, and if there is something medical support is required, it can be provided to you. Next point is, should a chemical gets into your mouth, spit it out into a basin. Means if there is any chemical gets into your mouth or you taste it by mistakenly, you should immediately spit it into a basin, rinse your mouth with plenty of water. Similarly, if any chemical comes into contact with other parts of your body or clothing, wash thoroughly with plenty of water and report to your teacher. So in any case of accident, whom do you report? You need to report to your teacher. Now tell me if these all points, yes, Ajlal, why you people are, why you people are, just a minute, Amna, again you are texting so many times, then Ajlal Alam, you are commenting on Amna's messages, mind your own business, none of your business. What is this? Beta, focus focus on your studies, focus on your lesson. Test tube, let me show you what is a test tube. On your book, in your book, the diagram is given here. I'm going to share the picture of test tube. Test tube. This is the test tube. Look, you must have seen somewhere in documentaries or on TVs or some other books. This is the test tube. It is used for heating the small amount of chemicals. Okay, got it? Who was asking about it? Hiba. Hiba, have you got it now? That what is the test tube? Yes. Okay. Anybody else needs to ask something which you did not understand, class? Okay. And who was asking for question number 4? I believe that everyone has completed question number 4. Let me share the yesterday's assignment. Yes, class. Who did not complete the question number 4, please, here I have shown you question 3 and 4 both. Please take note of it. Try to complete it as fast as you can, because just few seconds are left. And I'm very thankful for you people for your time and concentration. Please read the pages thoroughly, page 2, 3, and 4.